Hey guys, Sean Taggy and Zach Baddour here. We are going to be talking today about how to manage your manager, specifically manage your property manager. So Zach, why don't you take me through this? Like, you obviously work with a lot of our clients on the property management end, or your team, someone on your team.
Mm-hmm.
What are the best things you see from other owners that really are good, at keeping that good relationship between you and them, and how to work together well?
I think the first step is to be dedicated to the investment.
Love it.
And the first step with that is to read and understand and keep at the top of mind the management agreement. That's the backbone of what we do and what we're allowed to do and
Right.
what we're expected to do. So I think having a firm understanding of that, and I like it when owners hold us accountable.
Right.
When they say, hey, this is what it says in the agreement, I need you to do this, and 9 out of 10 times it's, we'll take care of that
Of course,
right away.
yeah.
That's really the guide rails for how we operate your property, and we want people to hold us accountable to that. I think another important factor is to be mindful of the dates. Hey, I've got a house on whatever street, lease expires here, 90 days out. We're obviously going to be sending
Right.
a lease renewal 60 days, 30 days. Hopefully they renew it 70% of the time they do, and if they don't, we need that person either paying month-to-month fees or they need to vacate the property.
Right.
So that way we can find another great tenant.
Right. So you got to stay a little bit on your property, on the key dates, on like when the lease is going to expire. Obviously, like the annual statements, when your monthly statements come out. Like ideally monthly, you're going to want to read over that statement, understand it. If you don't have a great grasp on it, we have some videos and also our staff that can help you out with understanding that. Once you've seen like 6 or 10, they're pretty easy to just see what's going on. And you're kind of just looking for key things like, oh, is my rent here? Great, check. Is the management fee taken out, which is 8% of the collected rent? Check. Then just read over the common expenses on there. Typically, you're going to see what they are for turnovers and everything like that. And just make sure they're in line, and just feel free to ask questions if you have any on them, and
Yeah,
we'll have an
absolutely.
explanation.
If you're a current client, reach out to your portfolio manager. You know who they are. I want you guys to print out the statement or use it on your
Yeah.
tablet. I want you to tear it apart.
Yeah.
I want you to scrutinize it. I want you to look at it, hold us accountable. Counting, sometimes I make mistakes, sometimes I make a mistake. Look at it, review it, the fine-tooth comb, and
Yeah.
hold us accountable to that. Another thing that's how to manage your manager is let us do our job.
That's true too. Sometimes it's get out of their way, right?
Yeah. I mean, you're not managing it for a reason, not micromanaging us,
Right.
respectfully.
It's almost like the time you're investing, you just manage it yourself if you're so adamant
Yeah.
about that, right?
I mean, we are all, I would say most of us in the office are investors, and we have that mindset first. I mean, that's where the company really started. That's where a lot of us got personally started. So we understand the maximize revenue, reduce cost. We understand
Right.
you
We
want
want
your
that too.
peak return.
Yep.
So that's kind of the position that we operate from, and you need to let us, do that. Whether it's addressing a deferred maintenance issue, taking care of the tenant. So that way they'll renew, and they have a great product and they want to stay there. If you take care of your tenant, they'll take care of you.
Love it.
So that's part of letting us do our job. The more successful you are, the more successful we are.
Right.
Selfishly, I
Yeah.
want you to do amazing so that then you can buy more properties, refer a friend, things like
and
that.
our interests are aligned. We don't make money until we collect rent, right? And things like that. Typically most of our fees are structured to where it's symbiotic in the relationship.
Absolutely. And a proper alignment of incemives, in my
Yes.
opinion, is one of the most important things, whether you're in real estate, property management, and software.
Employees, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, I was thinking of another one here. Yeah. Also, when you're managing someone, you need to give them direction and approval for key things.
Mhm.
And one of the biggest key things that happens in the lifespan of a management company is when a property does go vacant and you need to repair it to get it rented again. There's always a little something to fix up. And a big key to managing your manager is letting them know, yes, I would like this fixed, I would like that fixed, and that not fixed. So on our end, it's to give you that list of things to fix that we suggest or are definitely needed. And it's your job to manage by saying, I approve or not, or ask questions, right?
Absolutely. You want me to walk you through that process?
Sure, yeah.
Sure. So when a property becomes vacant, tenant turns in the keys. What we'll do immediately is we will send out a superintendent to go assess the situation of the property, mark any tenant damages, against the move-in photos,
If
against
there
the
was
move-in
anything.
checklist. So that way we can, take care of the owner and keep the tenant held accountable for any damages that may have occurred at the property during their tenancy, which was hopefully a long tenancy. But from there, they would prepare a scope of work, one that is absolutely needed to fit the clean, safe, functional box.
And rent it for the rent we predict it can rent at. And maximize your return. Love it.
To be honest, 60% of your scope should be 55 to 60% of your scope will be paint and flooring.
Right. It's just kind of stuff that happens when you're living in there for several years.
Absolutely. I mean, there's going to be normal wear and tear. And the other scope of work that you're going to get is a recommended scope. These are things, paint the exterior of the house, do this, do that. These are things that are going to help get you more rent and going to tackle any deferred maintenance, things that just long-term recommendations.
Right.
We see, between 55 and 60, sometimes 70% some months of owners approving those.
Right.
It really depends on where you are in your target as far as your rental property.
Right. So answering that quickly, that's how you can manage them well, is just being on the lookout for that, knowing the key dates. What other things to manage your property manager well?
Sure. I think it's for the owner needs to be in a position of strength. And if the owner's in a position of strength, it puts us in a position of strength.
Right.
And so that way we can do our job and you can have a successful rental property.
Yeah, I think it starts out, for you to manage well, you need to have the capabilities to support, the good and the bad. So what I see some people is they don't come with a position of strength, meaning they don't have a reserve fund.
Yeah.
That's something you need to do, just because this is real estate. There are unpredictable things. Even if you have a brand new turnkey property, even properties that I renovate myself, things happen. Sometimes tenants lose their jobs halfway through the lease. Not all the time, but it happens, and it really helps if you have 3 months to 6 months of a reserve fund, PITI at least, so that way you can weather those storms. It comes really hard, and it's really hard to help us out and work with you if that happens and we can't go and fix it to get it rented. So have some reserve fund, and that allows you to have a more enjoyable experience, have that peace of mind.
Absolutely. Just like the saying, the more disciplined you are, the more free you are. And I think if the more conservative you are, the more capital you have on hand to address those issues, you won't be behind the 8 ball.
Right.
You'll be able to get momentum into your next rental property.
Love it. So anyways, guys, there it is. That's how you can manage your property manager. Be checking out everything, know the key dates, checking over their scopes, giving them direction and approval quickly and when needed, and all the other things in between. Thank you so much. Hopefully this helps you out with managing your rental property manager. Have a good one.